Welcome to CSL Leesburg. So those weeks are counting down, getting closer to the end of the year. But for now, we're still with the theme for 2025, Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Our theme for the month of November is Loving the Unlikable. And the title of our talk today is Opinion, Fact, or Truth? Isn't that a wonderful question to guide you through your decisions? And today we have our guest speaker, Reverend Melinda, is joining us, and I'll tell you some more about her in just a moment. Before we start our welcoming video, I want to remind you that if you have any prayer requests or celebrations, we would love to include those. So after our message, Reverend Melinda will take us through our form of affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, and she will be sure to include your celebrations and concerns. You just let her know by dropping them in the comment section. All right, I think that's it. So sit back, take a deep breath. You made it. And relax and enjoy our welcoming video.
Just turn off your phone.
That's not my phone, that's mine.
Oh.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. All right, I'd like to take this time to introduce Reverend Melinda Jacobs. If you're a regular here at CSL Leesburg, then you know Reverend Melinda. She's a regular guest speaker. She joins us for classes. She leads us through workshops, and we are so blessed to have her. A little bit about her. She is a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and she helps people to heal by going through and beyond past trauma. And she's been doing this for over 15 years. How can that be? So she is always available to us. I just told her before our service today how I love listening to her meditations that she posts on Insight Timer. It's so nice to hear her voice in the morning, and we are so blessed to have her today. She will lead us through our meditation, and she will also be our speaker today on the topic of opinion, fact, or truth. So without further ado, here is Reverend Melinda and our meditation.
Thank you. Hello, beloved CSL community. Let us just settle in, shall we? And just close your eyes if it's comfortable, knowing that meditation can be wide-eyed open. Just bringing all your attention into this moment. Bringing all of your attention to the sacred breath of life. Just allow yourself to gently and easefully be in this moment. Letting go of the busyness of the day, of the week. Letting go of what's to come. Feeling that support beneath you rising up to hold you. Knowing and recognizing that the physical manifestation of the support beneath you, be it a chair, a couch, a floor, is a small representation of the immense support that is spirit. Take this moment to acknowledge and recognize that the divine, the holy, the sacred thought you into being. So that it could experience life through you in a way that is unlike anything or anyone else on this planet. Take this time to connect to that sacred presence within you. This sacred presence that holds all the wisdom of the universe. This divine presence that knows right from wrong, that knows truth from distortion. There is a place within you, beloved, that knows the deepest truths and all the mysteries of the cosmos. Right here, right where you are. And so resting into this connection and feeling this presence with you, moving in and around you. Inviting this presence to open your mind, open your awareness to the beliefs you hold, supporting you in discerning all the information around you. Just resting here in this presence. Resting into this place of peace, of love, of joy, bringing you back to the deepest truths of you and life. Allow this presence to wash through your thoughts and through your heart and through your body, guiding you, inspiring you as you move about the day. Allow it to be the first connection of your morning. Allow it to be the last in your evening. Take this peace, take this connection with you, and memorize this feeling. And let's take one last breath together. And just letting go of the meditation, coming back into the space, opening your eyes. And we welcome in Soul Pajamas. Good morning, Erin and Dan.
Good morning.
Morning.
These are cute.
I have been dreaming. I was awake, not understanding what it might take to be here and now, committing all. I have been sleeping outside the wall.
There is no wall. It never was. There is no gate. I dreamed it. No separation from what I create. Awake my soul to spirit. Awake my soul. Be still and know there is no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. I built a bridge from me to you, spanning a deep, wide river. Another dream within a dream. Lord, will I ever be delivered? The bridge illusion, it never was. There is no span, I dreamed it. No separation, but what I create. Awake my soul to spirit. Awake my soul, be still and know there is no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. Awake my soul, be still and know there is no place, no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Erin. Soul pajamas, everyone in the house. Oh, welcome to CSL Leesburg. My name is Reverend Melinda Jacobs. I am here to talk about opinions, facts, and truth. As a hypnotherapist, I work with people all around the world, helping them sort through all of that, from our past experiences, what really is the facts, what is the truth, and what is the opinions, and how do they shape our lives and how we move through. It's such a fascinating thing that in Science of Mind we talk about little t and capital T, small t truths and capital T truths. That's such an interesting distinction, right? Because it seems that truth should be truth. Seems reasonable. And yet, as I was preparing for this, and of course the inspiration always drops in the shower, right? And so I'm thinking about the state of the world. As many of us are. And this idea of, well, what's opinion, what's fact, and what's truth. And I think of that old story about the four people who are describing what they're touching. And they're all touching the same thing. They're all touching an elephant, and one says, "Oh, it's very massive and it's thick and it's, big." And the other one's like, "No, no, no. Are you kidding me? It's skinny and it's flexible and it moves." And the other one's like, "No, it's bristly," holding the tail. "It's very bristly and spiky." And the other one is like, "What are you talking about? It's got this, it's solid, it's bone." Is it possible that we're all right? Is it possible that what we hold as facts might be completely contradicting what someone else holds as a fact, and yet could we possibly be touching the same thing? This is what got me going this morning. So let me dive into our reading. This is from Brené Brown. When we're faced with information that challenges what we believe, our first instinct is to make the discomfort, irritation, and vulnerability go away by resolving the dissonance. So dissonance is it's that tension when you know one thing to be true and there's another information that says it's not, and there's this tension. She says we might do this by rejecting the new information, decreasing its importance, or avoiding it altogether. The greater the magnitude of the dissonance, the greater is the pressure to reduce dissonance. In these challenging moments of dissonance, we need to stay curious and resist choosing comfort over courage. I'm going to read that again. I want you to hear that one. In these challenging moments of dissonance, that tension, we need to stay curious and resist choosing comfort over courage. It's brave to invite new information to the table, to sit with it and hear it out. It's also rare these days. As Adam Grant writes, intelligence is traditionally viewed as the ability to think and learn. Yet in a turbulent world, there's another set of cognitive skills that might matter more: the ability to rethink and unlearn. Again, this is from Brené Brown, from her book, Atlas of the Heart, Mapping Meaningful Connection and the Language of Human Experience. I think about that idea of dissonance, and I don't know if it's my wiring. I don't know if it's because I'm highly sensitive. I just know my body knows truth. My body knows when I am hearing truth and when I'm hearing something, because I choose to tap into something that's beyond me. I went to John of God a number of years ago before it all went sideways. And there was this this experience that I had where I decided that I didn't know anything. Now, when I grew up, what I knew, intellect was the only thing that was valued in our home, and intellect was the only thing that made you worthy of being loved. And so for me to reject and let go of the fact that I know anything was a massively ego crushing moment. And yet I decided that I realized everything I know came from a human. Everything I've read, everything I've learned, everything that I've ever taken in was because I read books from humans. And I had this moment of deciding I want to know something greater than what we know as people, because I think that what we know is limited. And so I abandoned everything I knew, threw it away, and I decided to just let spirit teach me. Teach me the greater truth, teach me the information. And that is a big leap of trust. That's a big leap of faith, is to trust the information that you're getting and not making it up, right? And what amazes me, it still amazes me, is I will get these insights. I will have just, a little conversation in my head, like the elephant this morning. It just drops in, and inevitably I'll hear someone else, some spiritual teacher, saying the exact same thing, the insight that I just got. And so over the years, I've been able to develop and build this trust of what I'm hearing. It's helped me trust even more deeper the internal GPS that I have, that is a lie detector, and more importantly, a truth detector. I'm not special in that way, beloveds. You have this within you. You're hardwired to feel the environment around you, to feel connected to that greater thing than you. But that's a choice. It was a radical conscious choice of mine to abandon all knowledge, all information. That was radical. And I'm not going to say that I feel completely freed, but I feel definitely blessed to move about the world in a way where I can hear information, and I run it through my little truth detector system. Like, I hand it over and I'm like, is this true? I don't know, this feels true. And then I literally, in my mind's eye, because this is how I relate to it, I see heads either nodding yes or shaking their heads no. Like, there's a very clear message internally. Now, that may not be how you experience it. Your relationship with the divine is yours and yours alone, and it will be unique, and it will be meaningful to you. And it's there to help you discern the truth and the lies. Now, Ernest Holmes consistently throughout all his writings and throughout all his teachings has urged us to remain open at the top throughout his entire lifetime. We hear it again and again. This call to openness, I think now more than ever, is critical. It's critical because we live in this era that has rapid technological advances, and there's conflict, and there's violence, and there's AI, and this division that we experience, not just politically but economically, and in all these different ways, right? It's fracturing us. It's fracturing our families. It's harming. It's hurting people. And as we navigate these interesting times, I think it just becomes more crucial than ever to apply the spiritual truths, capital T, that we as practitioners of science of mind, as metaphysicians, we hold these spiritual truths near and dear to our hearts. Truths like oneness, God, it just makes me a little teary. The fact that we are connected, that we're whole, that we are part of this one living, breathing thing that's called consciousness. Oneness is one of those spiritual truths that when we hold to it, when we anchor to it, and when we look at the world around us, it can absolutely dissolve all the fiction around us, and it can really get us back to what is true versus what's false and what's fact and what's opinion, right? Is when we align to that oneness and the wholeness that we are part of this collective system, that without you, without me, it would be missing something. That's how vital we are, because spirit thought you into being because it needed, it wanted, it chose to have its experience of life through your experience, and it will be unlike anything and anyone around you. We work so hard. Oh, so hard to be the same. I was one of my special interest rabbit holes. I was watching a series on botched plastic surgery and this striving to have a particular look that's based on what we consider this ideal, and everybody's trying to look this particular way, and isn't that just the antithesis of embracing the uniqueness that spirit thought you into being, right? These truths that we hold dear is this unique expression of spirit in every living being. And the creative process itself, we know through practice, through our own experiences, not just because Ernest told us about it and because New Thought talks about it and because the Bible talks about it, but we know through our own experience that what we think plants a seed into this creative medium that then somehow magically, I don't know how that works, but it brings the thought into being, right? That's one of those truths that we can rely on. And these truths of wholeness, oneness, the creative process, they serve as the lighthouses amidst all the confusion, all the opinions, all the falsehoods, all the manipulations, and all of that tends to blur. But we can bring all of that back into clarity, into light when we hold these truths. Embracing openness at the top means maintaining receptivity to new ideas, like Brene was talking about. How receptive are you when someone brings a new idea to the table? A lot of you know I follow Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've been to a number of his retreats, and to listen to him talk about the ideas he has that he had at the time he was ridiculed, and everybody said it's pseudoscience. You don't have the backing, you don't have the proof. And guess what? Now he has. He has the proof now that can prove what his basis was. Can you imagine what it would be like to know something so deep within you, because it's that capital T truth, and have the entire world say you're crazy? It's happened again and again in history, you know? Embracing openness at the top involves discerning truth from misinformation. How do we do that? How do we embrace the that deep wisdom that is that universal knowledge of the cosmos? How do we embrace that and maybe question the information we're getting? Staying open at the top also means that we're fostering compassion across the divide. I smile, my heart just smiled so big when I heard the lyrics today of Building a Bridge from me to you. And then staying open at the top means we're actively contributing to a more inclusive and harmonious world. So let's talk about each of these, because these to me are, it's like a map. It's like, here, beloveds, here's how you can navigate this really interesting time. Discerning truth from misinformation. uh, there's so much misinformation. I'm actually fascinated right now by how easily we're swayed, how easily we are manipulated, and not just individually, but collectively. I'm going to say some things that are slightly political, so notice the dissonance that you might experience. Notice the tension. Because I anchor to spiritual truth, because I choose to see the world through the eyes of the divine. Some of the things I hear, like, what? And one of my recents that I've really heard, like, there's some fights about, is Russia our friend or our enemy? And to me, part of me is like, wait, why do we need enemies? Wait, what? But there's all of this idea and this misinformation about, well, they did this and they did that, and here's this and here's that. And is that information coming in a way where it's touching for you a spiritual truth? What if it's all true? I've been sitting with that question again and again and again. What if it's all true, and just one party, one group, one individual is describing exactly what they're touching, exactly what they're feeling with such accuracy. But there's something bigger, and there's other qualities and facets of it that from another perspective is also true. Discerning truth from misinformation, I think for me right now, this is just for me. And if it applies for you, great, grab it. But for me, the only way I can discern truth is to anchor so wholly, completely, and fully to that divine presence within me. And to ask the light, ask love, what's true. And this idea of fostering compassion across the divides. Oh, how you doing with that one? Oh, that one can be a little tough. We have such strong opinions about right and wrong, good and bad. And again, as I was preparing for this talk, what was brought into my awareness, again, another hot topic, another hot button, was what happened on January 6th, right? So much division in our culture, in our humanity right now, I think is because we're holding so strong on to opinions as to what's right and what's wrong. And again, what part of the elephant are they holding on to? What are they describing? I've heard from a few people that were arrested, that participated and were arrested, about their experience. And it's touching to me that initially they were like, they're patriots, and some people were like, that's not patriotic. But when you really hear from them, from their soul, the information that they were given and how they rose to the occasion to protect what they felt they were protecting, there is a truth there. This one individual, I don't remember their name, but they were talking about how they were acting based on information they had, and that was what they were inspired to do. And after the fact, finding out that it was misinformation, they lost everything. They lost their family, they lost their job, they lost everything. And I think about the times I've grabbed onto information and acted on it and made some interesting choices like they're cheating on me. Like we make up stories in our heads that are just not based in fact. They're based in our insecurities. They're based in our fears. And then we project them out. And because we live in a responsive universe, the universe just says, oh, that's what you believe? Okay, well, here you go. And to foster compassion across the divide is just that. It's building the bridge. We have to build a bridge from me to you so that I can use that phrase that makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to me. I only recently was able to get there with the January 6th situation because I heard that individual's experience. Oh, it makes a lot of sense to me now that I can see it and feel it through what you were experiencing and how you really felt a duty, a sense of patriotism to stand up for what you believed was right. Oh, that makes a lot of sense to me now. And to me, that's the goalpost. I know I'm open at the top. I know I'm bridging that divide and I'm holding compassion when I can truly, in the all of me, say, oh, it makes a lot of sense to me. And then actively contributing to a more inclusive and harmonious world. Oh, beloveds, what are you doing? What are you doing to foster that harmony, that inclusion? Now, I'm not suggesting that we open our doors to our homes and invite in some of the more challenging personalities in the world. That's not what I'm suggesting. But again, back to Dr. Joe's work is recognizing that when we are in heart and brain coherence and we are emanating love out into the world, we're changing the field. We're creating an energy field that is influencing everything and everyone around us. Make no mistake. When you touch water, it ripples. When you breathe, you ripple the field. Your presence is so powerful because you are here by divine appointment. Your presence is always rippling out. I just finished my live retreat about living life as a mystic, and that was one of the big points that came through is make no mistake, you're making ripples. And what is it that you're rippling into the world? And so maybe you're not to the place of having conversations, but can you just extend love into the space? Can you just smile, regardless of opinions, facts, or truth? Can you bring that sense of kindness and ease into the world? These are interesting times. And more, I'm just finding that we're being called to deepen our faith, to deepen our trust, to align to a deeper truth, which is that presence within you, within me, that is connecting all of us. And that it is always informing us as to how to be in this world through compassion, through building the bridges, through our intentions and our actions that are creating more inclusion into this world. We are the lighthouses. Those of us who know that the divine is the indwelling presence. And when we connect to that and radiate it out, it's a brighter world for all of us. So let's just take a moment. Let's close our eyes. And let's just breathe in that light. Breathe in that truth. That divine presence that is moving through me, that is operating in this world as me, that is bringing to me experiences for me. That presence is the truth, that capital T truth, and we can just rest in it. We can choose to see each other as those brilliant lights. And how wonderful it is to know these truths, how wonderful it is to recognize the wholeness, the oneness that we all are, that God is. And in this moment, in this time, I'm just knowing and recognizing, because we are all the lighthouses of the divine, I choose to see that light spreading more and more light, more love throughout all of humanity. I know right where each and every person is in the hardest of conflicts, in the most chasm of division. I know love is right there. I recognize this universe as abundant, and that abundance, that prosperity is raining down upon each and every individual. I recognize and know that love, even in the most loneliest of places, is a breath away. How wonderful it is to recognize these truths, to see this love, this prosperity, this abundance, this oneness, this wholeness emanating out and spreading throughout the world, and seeing in this moment, knowing in this moment that humanity is absolutely part of the one life, the one mind, the one love. I'm so grateful for this time. I'm so grateful for this beloved community. I am so grateful for these opportunities to share this space, this wisdom with you. I release it now, just knowing that ever responsive creative force of the universe says one thing and one thing only. It says yes. So we just allow it to be and let it go. And we affirm by saying, and so it is.
So this song by Daniel Nahmad, for those of you who don't know him, he's a wonderful artist in our movement. And it's really exactly about what Melinda's just talked about. He, in this song, is celebrating his realization, his connection to his own inner truth, his spiritual truth about his oneness. And from that, he bursts out into the world with all this wonderful right action, and it's really just completely nails that whole idea of what you can do other than use your brain to discern, which is always such a risky business. Anyway, and he does it. He's a very heart-centered guy. He does it from the heart. Anyway, here we go.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Swing in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Reverend Melinda, and thank you so much, Soul Pajamas. All right, folks, now is the time that we remind you that we can do what we do every Sunday because of you. Like Reverend Melinda said, we are all connected. So your donations go to help us tithe to our home organization, plus other organizations that share our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. Also, you keep us going every Sunday. We can bring the music, we can bring the message, the meditation, all that we do because you give. And as you give, so shall you receive. We hope that you come back here on a regular basis because we spiritually feed you. There are so many ways that you can give. You can see the choices, and odds are, if you're regular, you found a way that works for you. If not, please check it out and consider making a donation. All right, let's go to our blessing of our gifts. Please join me in reading the words on the screen. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. And it is the spiritual truth with a capital T. All right, what announcements do we have, Charlene? So conscious giving, we are at that time of the year where we are making up and getting ready to vote and approve the budget that we have created for 2026. And we can do this because of you. You give your time, your talent, your treasure. And we so appreciate this. When we know what's coming in, we can plan the classes, the workshops, and all the other things that we do. And we will be, Reverend Charlene, you're going to have to remind me, what is our date of our annual meeting? I know it's coming up soon. There it is. See, look at that. She has a slide already for that. So it's next Sunday after service. That is part of our announcements today. So if you are a member of CSL Leesburg, please, 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 we want you to join us. We will do a year in review. We will celebrate what we have accomplished in 2025. We'll review the budget for 2026 and we will approve it. And it will be after the service next Sunday, 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. If you are a member, please, 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 you have a say in this. You are a member. We are connected and we want to hear from you. We want to celebrate with you and we want to plan with you. So please plan on joining us next Sunday after service. Love that. Love that. I asked and she already has a slide. See, before you even know what you need, it's already coming to you. All right, folks, before we do our closing affirmation, I want to remind you that we do pearls. This is where we just kind of hang out and have our virtual coffee hour. We talk about what resonated with us for the meditation and the message of the service. Sometimes we talk about books that we're reading or movies that we're watching or TV shows, anything that spiritually feeds us. Our speakers always like to hear from us what really resonated with you. I was reading the chats. I love the feedback that Melinda was getting instantaneously, but maybe you have something a little more to say that you couldn't fit in the chat. So hang out with us. If you can't, we know lives are busy. We'll send you off with our love and blessing after we do our closing affirmation. A wonderful reminder what it comes down to, the spiritual truth. Here we go. And when you say these words, really, really take in what we talked about today, the message. What are the facts? What are the opinions? What is the spiritual truth? You ready? Here we go. Turn on your mics. I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
That chorus. All right, think about someone who needs this message. It could be somebody in the room with you. It can be a furry companion. It can be a friend, a loved one, family member, or like we said over and over again, we so believe in this. It is connected. So we can send this out. You ready? You are love.
You are love.
You are
I
love.
love.
All right, now put your hands up in the air. Let's do our love sprinkles. Here we go. Let's just send that out, like Reverend Melinda said, ripples through the universe. Here we go. It's all
It's
love.
All love.
All love.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. If you can stay, hang out with us. We'd love to talk with you. If not, we send you off with love and blessings, knowing that we'll see you next Sunday.